1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show, the most amazing, incredible talk radio genius ever. I swear to God. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. And when I was cut off a moment ago, trying to do this review of this piece of shit, pile of shit, 1970 so-called album by DIRK McQuickly, the bassist from the RUTLES, of course. You know his music, world-renowned, worldwide, all around the planet. DIRK McQuickly. But he got out of the gate rather clumsily and slowly and quite awkward here with this debut album comprised of mainly unfinished, half-baked material that sounds like, it fucking makes the Who Tommy sound like Quadrophenia or something. I mean, dude, I don't even know where to begin with this album, but I was on a roll a moment ago in the original review before my Android Verizon phone here had, I guess, too much data and it puked. It just cut me off right in mid-review. And I fucking hate that, man. That's like getting interrupted like fucking, I don't know, like masturbation or something. Dude, it's bad. But anyway, DIRK McQuickly, 1970. Okay, I want to frame the situation here, people. Okay, the RUTLES were breaking up, and Yoko Ono was hooking up with Ron Nasty. And of course, Ron wanted to become a bluesman, playing in the Dirty Mac with Keith Richards and Eric Clapton. He didn't want to be a mop-top Beatle anymore. And so, he dumped Cynthia Lennon and Julian and got with Yoko. And everything was just bad was happening with the RUTLES. I mean, Alan Klein come in, stealing all their money. Apple Core, but Rutle Core, whatever you call it, was rotting. The Beatles, they were just disintegrating, you guys. And DIRK McQuickly, though, was trying to hold it together. And you really see that during the Let It Rot sessions that we all saw just months ago as they once again dusted off another Beatles project. It's like a reality show from 1969 where they're all in the studio and just recording, and it's just not coming together, and all the songs suck, and it's just horrible. And then it's so bad, even George Martin walked out, and then they brought in Phil Spector, and he put all this orchestration on it, which I liked. But DIRK McQuickly didn't like that. And Ron Nasty said, me and George, we heard the album, me and Stig, and we loved it, and then Ringo was like, well, I loved it, me and Harry listened to it, and we didn't have any problem. We were smoking hash, listening to Let It Rot, and, it was great. But DIRK McQuickly didn't like Let It Rot, and later, of course, he would put out Let It Rot Naked, where he took off all of Phil Spector's orchestration. And I think that album sucks, just like most DIRK McQuickly music does suck. But on this first album here, let's talk about 1969, 1970, the two critical years in rock. The RUTLES break up. Ron Nasty is the first to quit. And then for a little brevity, for a little while, the RUTLES were a three-piece, with Ringo and DIRK and Stig. And they recorded the song I, Me, Mine, by Stig, which I really love, you guys. Me, Clark the Shark, right here from the golden EIB Sharkerphone, the Wolfman Jack on crack. I tell it like it is. I tell no lies, just like a drunk man, people. Well, actually, drunks fucking tell lies all the time. I remember being drunk with a lampshade on me head, and I would just say anything. It doesn't make it true, you guys. Whoever says drunks tell the truth, they're full of fucking shit, because they lie just about as much as any of the rest of us. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. But DIRK McQuickly, the debut album, McQuickly. Well, I don't even get this cover. It's like cherries or raspberries or strawberries or fucking poison berries, or he's making wine. I don't even know. But this album sounds... I mean, every song on this sucks. Okay. Now, I want to say, that's a shock for DIRK McQuickly, because usually, he's so great. I'm so great. DIRK McQuickly. My songs are always great. Clark the Shark. Man, no, really, if you analyze DIRK's output in the RUTLES, Eleanor Rigby and a couple other songs are it. Most of his stuff sucks. And then when he goes solo, he gets even worse or something. And this album is the catalyst for that. This touches off the firestorm of a career, of just a disaster career that was the life and times of DIRK McQuickly from the RUTLES. This album sounds incomplete, underdone, underplayed, inconsistent. I mean, every single song, I can't even review this music. It's just so like half-baked and cold in the middle. It's not even cold in the middle. The whole thing's cold. Like you just took it out of the fridge and you're like, I gotta fucking put this in the microwave just to thaw it out. And then Paul is like, oh wait, take it out of the microwave. We're gonna just release the album, Clark. And I'm like, Paul, wait. We got to mix it. It's got to go in the oven. We got to bake the tapes. He's like, no, this sounds great. We're going to take the album and, we're just going to release it. It sounds wonderful. And I'm like, what, DIRK, Paul, whatever your name is, dude, this album it's not that it's underdone or inconsistent or non-played, misplayed, underplayed. Dude, these are demos, bro. This isn't even music. This is like, I don't know what the fuck this is. What are you even releasing this for? And then it's funny because Ron Nasty, when he heard this album, he's all, here was Paul. He was always in the studio telling us, to be perfect with George. They were always cracking the whip. And then he puts out this, like in Sgt. Pepper, he makes us replay the tambourine part 1,001 times to get it right. And then he puts out this. And I'm like, yeah, Ron, dude, what the fuck is this shit, dude? DIRK, what is this album from 1970? The album that broke up the Beatles, dude. What the fuck is this album? I mean, this is terrible. This is probably the worst album in the history of music. And I'm not even talking about the lack of quality, the horrible mix, the incomplete production, the, just the demo tape busker feel of this album. I mean, there's street musicians with a lot more going on than this. I mean, this is just garbage. And then it's got, maybe I'm amazed on it, where that song's so awesome, but it doesn't rescue this album, you guys. And this album, anyone giving this more than 2 stars, I swear to God, you guys, don't fuck around with that, because it isn't funny. This album is a 1 star, maybe. I mean, look at this, 4 star. Who fucking gives it 4 stars? All Music, another 4 star. What, Blender, dude? I mean, Encyclopedia of Pop Music gave it a 3, and that's almost accurate. But you guys, it's getting 4, 4, 3. Dude, this is a 1 star album, not even at best. I mean, I don't even want to give it. Okay, Rolling Stone Album Guide gave it 2.5 stars, and that's accurate. And you know me, Clark the Shark, I never think Rolling Stone Album Guide is ever fucking accurate. But this time, baby, they nailed it when they're talking about the debut album, 1970, from DIRK McQuickly. McQuickly, simply entitled, self-titled, horrible album, you guys. And the lovely Linda, for all 43 seconds of it. Oh, it's so great. It's lit up in blue, dude. There's songs by fucking the Music Machine and the Count Five and the Standells and the Haunted that aren't. They don't even have a Wikipedia with a blue link. But you're gonna fucking write up lovely Linda in blue. Oh, all 043 of it. And then that would be something. It's actually kind of a song I, Clark the Shark, kind of appreciate. But, like the rest of this album, it doesn't sound complete or anything. And, Valentine Day should have been off the album. It's just garbage. And I kind of like Every Night. It's not bad. But once again, something's wrong with every one of these songs. And it almost seems like the tempo speeds up and slows down, or like it needs a click track or something on some of these songs. Hot as Sunglasses. Oh, that's a cool indie concept. And Junk. It is junk, dude. It is. And man, we was lonely. Talking about like Liverpool with Ron. We were so lonely looking for birds. We wanted to get them in the back door or something. Yeah. Man, we was lonely. Horrible song. And ooh, you. I kind of, me, Clark the Shark, ooh, you, ooh to all of you who don't like Sharky, 248 of just crap, Mama Miss America, They're lighting up these songs on side 2 in blue for Wikipedia, like Teddy Boy, oh, let's write it up in blue and sing along Junk, which it is, but maybe I'm amazed. One of the greatest songs ever could have been a song by the RUTLES. I don't know why Dirk, made that a solo pile of shit on this album. And of course, an interesting song to me, Clark the Shark, Creen Okra, or however you pronounce it, is interesting. But this album isn't interesting at all, you guys. It's because it's so poorly recorded, poorly mixed, poorly played. It's so annoying how bad this album is. It sounds so rushed, by this guy right here, DIRK McQuickly, a fucking overrated, overblown, overhyped guy, if ever there was one. Now, he does have some amazing songs, you guys, mainly with the RUTLES, but when he goes solo, he has a couple that are pretty rad. Band on the Run comes straight to mind, and a couple others, Uncle Albert, stuff like that is kind of cool. But in general, I would say his albums are spotty, dodgy, inconsistent, misfires, lots of throwaway filler songs. 85% of DIRK McQuickly's albums are throwaway. I'm not kidding you guys. This guy is like the Dave Grohl of the 70s. He's got fucking albums with 15 songs and only like 3 of them are good. And I'm talking every album by DIRK is like that. And then he hits a point in the 80s where it just goes to another level of that, where you can't even listen to the album, like Flowers in the Dirt. It's just fucking horrible. And then when you listen to that album, it hits you and you realize, well, his whole career has been horrible, because John Lennon and would never be like that, you guys, and neither would Stig O'Hara, and also even Ringo would have such shitty albums and such a shitty career. I mean, DIRK McQuickly concerts, he has to play his best shit and he has to play some Beatles shit because most of his shit sucks, you guys. And it's sad and it's hard to say that because there's such potential for talent here. If this guy would have concentrated and drank some coffee and maybe done speed or coke and quit smoking so much weed, he might have been a fucking amazing songwriter, DIRK McQuickly. Drugs work for John Lennon, but they don't work for DIRK. Some people, the drugs are good and it helps them. You know, like when John wrote I Am the Walrus, or when Ron wrote, you know, Strawberry Fields Forever, or, you know, dude, sometimes drugs are good. But in the case of Frank Zappa, they're bad. And in the case of DIRK McQuickly, I just wish this fucking guy would have gone to the gym on some runs on the treadmill and just come home and concentrate with a metronome and try to write catchy songs, because most songs by DIRK are not catchy. I'm talking 90% of his shit is not that good, but 10% of it is really fucking good. I mean, even in the RUTLES, man, dude, that 10% of his songwriting is first rate, you guys. It is at the top, cream of the crop, top of the class, master class, you name it. Hey Jude, fucking killer. Let It Be, Eleanor Rigby, man, dude, those are good. But he, you know, to me, I think Yesterday is crap. I think like Paperback Writer is kind of crap. I think, you know, Getting Better is kind of crap, you know, and I think All My Loving is good. And I think Can't Buy Me Love is really good. But there's just a lot of crap. And then he wants to do crap like Kansas City, hey, 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 and just, you know, he's got this instinct to just be bad and suck or something. And it's a shame and a pity because his lead vocals are really good. His bass playing is incredible, dude. This guy is like fucking Geddy Lee in the ass, the way he sings and plays bass at the same time. He's like the John Entwistle of the RUTLES, man. He's amazing, dude, on bass. And his lead vocals are incredible. And even 10% or 15% of his songs are incredible. But I gotta say, you guys, 85% or so of DIRK McQuickly's musical output is shit. I'm talking absolute worthless crap. And this first debut album, if in fact this was the album that broke up the RUTLES, it is a damn pity of a shame, because John Lennon's Imagine and George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, and even the Ringo shit is better than this. Now, of course, DIRK would improve after this with Ram, which is kind of an album I like and I kind of don't. I'm going to review that one. That's actually an album with Linda. And that album is a big improvement over this. And then he has other albums that kind of improve and get good, but he just has so many crappy songs and he has so much filler that's just shouldn't be on albums. I mean, nobody is more notorious than that, than the one and only DIRK McQuickly from the RUTLES, who basically broke up the band with this shitty, underproduced, underdone, half-baked, not even a quarter-baked, not even cold in the middle. This whole album is cold, you guys. And no, Maybe I'm Amazed does not save it. That's a great song, but the rest of this fucking sucks. Me, Clark the Shark, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't like DIRK McQuickly, and I usually give his albums like a 5 or a 6 or a 4. This one gets a 1 out of 10, maybe a 2 at the outset, people, but I mean, that's being very generous. I'm Clark the Shark, and you just heard the word. You just heard the only review of DIRK McQuickly, the debut album, 1970, McQuickly, that you will ever fucking need. You won't need another review ever of this inconsistent, let's just be honest, poorly played, horrible album of unprofessional demo tapes. It's crap, you guys. It's garbage, and it isn't even funny. I'm not laughing at this. You could tell he was trying to do something, you know, kind of like the Who, Live at Leeds, or, you know, oh, look at me, I'm unprofessional, it's so cool, and it's just raw, and I'm keeping all the crackling, and I'm keeping all the, you know, imperfections. It's going to be great. And I'm like, no, dude, it's fucking not great. At 1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show. And when bands do this kind of shit, sometimes it works. You know, the Beatles' White Album is kind of like this, and it works. But on here, it does not work, people. I'm Clark the Shark, and you just got the word, the testimony, the truth about Dirk McQuickly and how this album really sums up his whole career, people. This album is a representation of every album he does. I'm not even kidding. His albums are always spotty, dodgy, inconsistent. Like you listen to them and you're like, what the fuck am I listening to? They are always like that. And even the hit songs sometimes suck. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255 from the golden EIB Sharkerphone, the Wolfman Jack on crack. Coming to you live, you guys, right here, August 29, 2023. And I'm out of here, people. That's the VR. Peace.